Look, it doesn't highlight all of my fantastic things.
I don't know where the cutoff is, really.
It's like here.
Oh.
It's like here. You're pretty much seeing this.
But BB-8, he's
Yeah.
important.
Yeah. Hey, bud. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Disney Top 5, the series where we pick something Disney-related, and we pick 5 things in that thing, and we put them in an order directly related to how much we like those things, and then we make it. It's called the Top 5 list. It's 2016. This is what you got to do on the internet these days.
Yep.
It's all about listicles.
Yep.
This week, we're talking about an idea you had when we were at Disney.
Yeah.
Which was
top 5 sensations in the park.
So are these physical sensations, mental sensations?
A little bit of both. A little bit leaning towards the physical side.
Is it about the band The Sensations?
No.
Oh.
I don't think there's any of those.
There's no sensation? I feel like there's like a 50s doo-wop. There's gotta be, right? The
yeah, but they're not called The Sensations.
There's gotta be. There's gotta be a Sensations out there.
In Disney World.
No. Just like in the world.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So, top 5 sensations in the parks. Number 5.
Number 5.
Take it away.
Is really specific. I feel like a lot of these are going to be very specific.
Well, that's the idea, right? There's specific sensations. Otherwise, it's just going to be like heat.
That's not
walking.
That's
hunger.
Those are all bottom 5 sensations at Disney World. We could do a whole other video on that. It is the sensation of a very specific drop in Big Thunder Mountain. Now, hear me out. It is after this. Don't make faces.
I don't know what you're talking about, but
it is after the second time you go through the lift, because there's 2 lifts. There is a drop. You go around another turn and you do a couple of these like drops. But the second one, I don't know why, just seems to like come a little quicker and is a little bit longer, and so there's a certain air time to it that I don't think you really expect, because Big Thunder Mountain goes like 35 miles an hour, and I wouldn't call it like a super thrill ride by any means. But it's like one specific drop that gets me every time, because there's a lot of air time, and so you get that feeling of your gut in your chest sort of thing. And I always know it's coming, but it always still like, I don't know, gets that little
I have
thrill.
no idea what you're talking about.
The next time we go on it, because we didn't get to go on it last time because it was
it's
closed.
Closed, yeah.
January.
Sad thing is,
pointed out.
Part of the refurb, they're removing it. Oh. They're just flattening the whole track out. It's going to be just like a railroad again now. It's just going to be, just go
They're
around.
Just going to have a second Magic Kingdom Railroad.
Kind of, yeah.
Just in one area.
Yeah. It's slower, though. Much, much slower. It's a very scenic 2-hour experience.
That's a shame.
My number 5 sensation at Disney World is one that happens after you get off an attraction. The TTA in Tomorrowland. You know, to get onto it, you have to go up this up ramp, and to get off of it, you go down a down ramp. And if you stand on that down ramp towards the edges, you can feel the rollers. And I don't know if it's an age thing, because this attraction's decades old, but you can feel the rollers wobbling on your feet all the way down, and it feels great.
It's like a massage.
It's like a little mini massage for half of one of your feet.
Yeah.
It's
nice.
nice.
I guess if you stood like really
like just spread your legs out, then you'd look, you're just blocking people who want to walk past
you. You know what? If it's quiet enough in January, let's do it.
Okay.
Let's just see if
even then though, you're only getting
it's like surfing.
A massage on half of each of your feet.
True.
So then what you have to do is, nope, there's no way to do the inside. You got to do crisscross to get the inside of your feet. So we'll go up, crisscross, down, legs apart, and that's how you get a little foot massage at Disney World.
Hot tip.
Yep.
For all you guys. My number 4 is a little bit more of a mental thing. It's a little bit of a mix. But it is the first time you open your hotel room door. Like the first time you use the Magic Band. If you don't go to the parks first, some people do that. But if your room's ready, it's like the first time you get to use your Magic Band, you hear that little click, and you open your door, and you're like, this is my room. Like, this is it. It's all freshly made up.
Clean.
It's clean. You kind of have that moment of like, okay, these are my living quarters for like the next however many days.
They preset the AC to 32 degrees, so it's like nice freezing. And cold.
It's like that, like, I'm here. This is home for the next few days. Right. This is it.
That carpet smell.
Yeah. And I think it's definitely that moment, but you know, it's the whole settling in feeling. I love that. You know, you open up your shades and you throw your bag down, and you're just kind of like, I'm here, you know, and like, what's next? We're going to the parks or whatever, but like, I don't know. There's something special about.
For
the
me,
first
it's the
time.
click. It's the
Yeah.
reassurance that technology works.
Yeah.
The future's great,
Yeah.
and you got into your room, and all things are gonna go well.
Yeah.
My number 4 is purely physical sensation. It's when you're on the monorail, when you're standing at the door. Being the New Yorker, I rarely sit on the monorail. I usually stand, especially because I want to look out. And I always hold on to the pole that the door is connected to, because then when the doors close, the pole itself rotates, and it's like a short little, like nowhere else have I ever seen a design like that. And that's how it is at Disney. And it's always a cool feeling.
I
Like,
don't
close-
like that feeling.
Really?
It freaks me out. Because I realize doors are closing, my hand's moving, I feel
Right.
like my hand's gonna get stuck
Like
in
it's just gonna
something.
get, like, clawed
I don't
in
like
there?
it. It freaks me out. I specifically don't hold that pole because of that.
Well, one, good. It leaves more space for me to hold on to it. Two, feels like I'm closing the door. I'm like, yeah, here, I'll help you out, Disney. Close. Other one, close. There's another one. You just stand there and do both. And then you're literally blocking the doorway.
True.
But it's a cool sensation.
So, my number 3 favorite sensation is in Tower of Terror, but it's not the drop. It is when you're in the first shaft, which isn't the shaft you even drop in. They specifically make the feeling of raising you super scary. Like, this isn't just like, oh, you're going up in an elevator. They do it. I don't even know what the actual mechanics of it is.
Well, it's like an elevator. It turns you
Yeah,
up.
but the way that it's pulling
It
you
has
up,
that. You know what it is? It's like whatever mechanic is lifting it takes over, and for that split second, it goes down a little, so it goes.
Yes,
and
then
that
it-
kind of gives you that sort
Yeah,
of
you get
dramatic
this-
feel of like, here we go.
because it also doesn't feel like it goes so smoothly. It
Yeah.
almost feels like you're in air. You know what I mean? And so even though I know that's not the shaft I'm dropping in, it just like freaks me out.
People are
but
gonna.
at the same time, I love that feeling, and I love how freaked out new people get. Like on
Oh,
that
yeah.
ride, like I like listening to other people going, "Oh my god!"
I'm not ready for this.
Yeah,
And then it just ding, and you see a little show.
yeah.
And over in California now, it'll just be a little Guardians of the Galaxy show. They're gonna play a little trailer for the next movie. My number 3 is Test Track, and this is one that I've come to appreciate recently because I always looked down on Test Track because they always boasted like, oh, it goes 60 miles an hour, and I was like, yeah, that was my mom drove that on the highway, like
Yeah.
big deal. But what it does is it banks, and that banking combined with the 60 miles and on a turn creates this G-force sensation that it's not like unique to Test Track. You go on a roller coaster, you're going to feel something similar, but it really does give you that illusion that, yeah, you're only going 60, but it feels like you're going 90 or 100.
Yeah.
And that makes the ride for me and is a lot of fun. And every time I ride it, I feel like I'm going to be ready for it, but I'm always taken back by how just like fast and windy and how much G-force pressure there is, and it makes it really thrilling. And so that's like one of my favorite sensations. It's
I
like
agree.
I'm really coming to love Test Track
Yeah.
as someone who didn't really like it much.
I agree. The more I ride it, the better it gets.
Yeah.
So, my number 2 sensation is another thrill ride. I feel like a lot of my sensations are thrill rides.
Well,
'cause-
they're the ones that make your body feel things.
Yes.
Like-
But I also, well, here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
Some people would put that in their bottom 5.
Okay, that's
Because
true.
they don't like thrill rides.
Yeah.
But I love them. I love feeling scared because I know I'm going to be safe. So, my number 2 is the rolling back of Rock and Roller Coaster before you launch.
Right.
It's before the countdown even happens. You're kind of just sitting there, and then you feel the whole train go back and just be like, click. And then you're like, oh,
Here we go.
crap. Yeah, and you still have a few seconds, but it's that moment where it's like, okay, this is going to happen. I'm in this ride now. They're setting me up for a ridiculous launch, which gets me every time. I mean, I've been on that ride.
Yeah, it's
Jesus,
fun.
probably a few dozen times now at this point, and that launch is still gets
Easy.
me.
I like to picture somebody's under there loading it like a crossbow, and that's what that backwards motion is. There's
Yeah.
someone cranking it into like a hook, and then it's like launches you like a slingshot.
That's terrifying.
Think about that next time. My number 2 also involves vehicles moving backwards. It also involves thrills. Well, not so much thrills, but it involves going backwards. And that is both in the Haunted Mansion and Spaceship Earth when your vehicle turns around and starts to move backwards. both cases, you're not just going backwards, but like the reason it turns you backwards is because you're going down.
Yep.
You're going down a decline. So you're either going into that haunted mansion area.
They weren't going to turn you forward. So you're like, oh,
Right. Now,
right.
it used to be that Spaceship Earth would have been my number one because you get like this great view of like all these cool things.
Yeah.
Now you're just focused on a little screen to do your little ending.
Though, have you ever looked at those lights and then moved your eyes back and forth?
No, I can't
Do
say
it.
I have.
Everybody do it. Those crazy lights and just like quickly move your eyes back and forth. It is the most dizzying, crazy experience.
Okay. I guess I'll try it. I've never...
Do that.
All right. But just, I like, it's relaxing. It's, you know, those are the moments where I'm like, well, if the ride's got to break down at any point, now's the time because it'll be really relaxing and I'll get to take a quick nap. So I always enjoy that turn and just that pull back when you lean back.
Yeah.
Number one, here we go.
So my number one, which was something I actually also brought up when we were at the park.
This was the spawn the idea.
This is what spawned the idea.
Yeah.
And I love it. Is the feeling when you are in a water ride, Splash Mountain, Pirates,
anything, Small World.
Let's say Kilimanjaro, no, Calgary Rapids, Small World, and you launch off that. Yeah, into the water.
Right.
That just feeling of whatever vessel you're in, just going like, and you're just like in it, and now you're like, okay, I'm in the ride, and the water's kind of pushing me along, and this is the start of whatever the experiences I'm about to have. But like,
just goes from rough and bumpy to just coasting. You're on water.
Yeah,
it's
I don't
nice.
know. There's just something. I mean, granted, I think like any log flume has that feeling,
right? Yeah.
But I don't know. There's just something special when I'm there, and I don't know. Especially for me, the big one is Splash Mountain.
Oh, see, for me, it's Small World because I feel like that, whatever it is more. I feel like there's more of a drastic just entry into the water.
This is true, but for me, the reason I say Splash is because I just really love everything that's going on in Splash. So when you do it, and then you're just like, whoa, look at all these animatronics and all this music and stuff. Like for me, with Small World, it's a little bit before you make that turn and you see that.
Right.
So for Splash, I feel like you're just going right into
That's
it.
fair.
And it's pretty good.
My number one is, I bet people will think it's a cop-out, but it is not a cop-out for me and my poor little feet. And it is at the end of every night, getting it. It's similar to like your first one, where like you get into the room. Mine's like when you get into your room and you take your shoes off after what is like 15 or 16 hours of being out and about.
Yeah.
It is the most relaxing feeling, like just dumping all your stuff off on the table, taking off your shoes, and just laying in bed for a minute. It is the best feeling on feet ever.
Yeah.
Period.
I think I like that feeling, not just because of obviously physically I need that.
Right.
But I think there's also that satisfaction of I've had a very long and exciting day.
Right.
I
You
did
earned
a lot,
it.
Yeah, I earned it. I did so much today. I did a lot of walking. I was really
Right.
active. Like, it's almost like a reward.
Right.
At the end of the day. Yeah.
Unless you just go around the parks. Can you go around the parks barefoot?
I don't
Probably not.
think
I feel
so.
like there's a rule against that. I would imagine. There you have it. Our top 5 physical, mental, our top 5 sensations at Disney World. What we want to know is, what are your top 5? There are probably some that might have been on this list, some that weren't. Let us know in the comments below, or you could tweet them at us. I am at Rob Plays. Christine?
I'm at Ivy Winter YT.
And if you want to see more Disney content, you could go ahead and, well, first off, if you have a suggestion for another topic for top 5, you can also let us know. But if you want to see more Disney content, you could subscribe to my channel right here. I do 3 videos a week. You can subscribe to Christine's channel, which is
Ivy Winter.
And if you want even more Disney content beyond that, you should check out our podcast that we just launched recently called the Tomorrowland Transit Authorities. You can find it on iTunes and Google Play and all that stuff. And we have our website, ttapodcast.com. I want to thank you all for watching. Thank you for your list, Christine.
Yeah.
And I will see you all next time for the next Disney Top 5. Bye.
Bye.